Real runners make running look easy. Of course, all of us can run, but it's not the same, is it? Similarly, all of us can speak, but there are some people out there who do it really well. And so here is some tips that I've picked up from other people who are really great speakers. The first tip is warm up your voice. You can do this by stretching. First of all, you stretch it and roll your shoulders. Stretch your neck out a little bit, nothing too fast. And then you clench or relax your jaw and cheeks. Move all these around. And then you go brrr. Yeah, so you get everything all loose and moving in here. And then remember to breathe with your diaphragm right down here. Instead of breathing up here with your chest, breathe down with your diaphragm, which is much lower down. Remember good posture. If you sit properly upright, you sort of imagine you've got somebody who's holding a string and is pulling out the top of your head. If you make yourself really tall and stand, either stand or sit really straight, that will improve things, I promise. When it's time for you to speak, pause, face the audience, relax for a moment. And then remember to project your voice. I know often people tell me that I am too quiet because I tend to talk more like this. I talk more conversationally, which is fine when you've got a microphone that's recording. But if you're trying to talk to a room of people, you need to find the note that works for you. And often when we're a bit more nervous, we tend to go a bit higher, and that actually doesn't help project. You need to work out how to go a bit lower, and down here somewhere is where I can really project my voice across the size of a big room. So you have to work out what is the pitch that works for you. And actually you will even find it does change a little bit for different types of rooms, different sizes of rooms and so on. So learn how to project your voice. Also remember good diction. So we've warmed up our voice, we've got the posture right, we're then pausing, relaxing, making eye contact with people, and then we have to practice projecting our voice. Diction is also important. I could talk really in a slovenly kind of way and nobody really understands what I'm saying, but if I pronounce the words very carefully and clearly and make sure that I'm pronouncing them properly, then everybody can understand. Not only the people from my own country, but maybe other people who are listening in and may not understand some of my ways of saying things. We can also remember to use pitch. If something's really exciting, it does tend to go up. And if it's very serious, it goes down. And pace is also there. If something is quick and exciting and interesting and you want to catch them, then you can build the pace up. But sometimes you then want to dial it right back because you have something very important to say. And sometimes you might want to pause as well. So think about how you use your voice because it will make a difference. And there are some points which are so important that you have to say them again. And sometimes you have to say them again and again. Repeating things really does make a difference. It is actually a bit of a science. There's a whole lot of stuff that you can learn about how to use your voice and how to present in different ways, how to project your voice in a big space or out in the open. If you're trying to speak to an audience outside, is different again. You can learn how to do this though, and this stuff you can Google this, you can find out online. As with many skills, it's something that you need to practice. And the more that you practice it for real, the better you will become at it. But of course, there is more to speaking than just how you use your voice. There's also things like eye contact. That makes a huge difference when you're talking to an audience. Making eye contact not just with one person, but with other people in the room. Make contact with a few different people around, maybe many people, but don't just do the looking over the top of everybody. That just makes everybody feel that they're being alienated. Remember to smile. Sometimes when we're nervous, we're so focused that it gets all very serious, and we forget that actually, if we're having a bit of fun, they're going to have more fun as well. It communicates better when we remember to smile and don't look quite so wooden. And if you've prepared and you've practiced, you've got a right to feel confident about this. So present that. If you are confident in your material, so will they be confident in it. If you're really not sure that you've got this right, and I don't know if it's the right thing, and so, then they're not going to be confident either, and they're not going to agree with you. The point of this presentation is you want them to agree with you. You want them to do some sort of action. You want them to learn something from this. You want them to be different in some way. That is only going to happen if they are confident in what you are saying. So you have to come across as confident, not arrogant, but confident. So make eye contact with lots of people, smile, remember to express yourself, and remain positive. And be confident. And of course, your body language is going to make a difference as well. It'll add to the communication. If you present like this, or you've got your head down, this communicates something, and they're going to understand what you've communicated, and they'll know he doesn't really care about this. Or if you get very intense, it can be a little bit too much. So you've got to find the right way to communicate what it is that you're wanting to say. Use your hands. If you keep your hands by your sides, as some people have actually been taught, it doesn't help to present. Actually, when we talk with one another, we often use our hands, and so we have to feel free to use them when we're making a presentation, even if it's only on a little screen like this. Still, sometimes to be able to see just a little bit of your hands, it just reminds the people that you're real and you're a normal person. And you can also change positions. In a small screen like this, it's not so easy. But if you're doing a presentation in front of a group of people, it may be that you want to present maybe the pros and the cons of this argument. And you can say, well, all of the reasons for the argument, I can present them from here. You don't say it out loud, but you can say, well, there's this idea and there's this and there's this. But of course, don't forget, there is also this and this and this. But personally, I think that this is better. Here it's a little bit contrived. It doesn't work so well on a screen, but you can move around the stage. You can, you have to imagine it that you are an actor on the stage. Okay, you're making a presentation in front of a meeting. It's not really a stage, but you can still imagine it as a stage, and you have to make a performance so that they will believe what you are saying, that they will understand what you are trying to communicate, and ideally they will take the action that you are hoping to convince them of. So you need to always know, what is your key message? What is this whole thing all about? What behavior do I need to exhibit to best communicate that point? I'd like to suggest to you that you might want to watch a couple of videos. There's the head of TED Talks, a guy called Chris Anderson, and he gave a talk that's called TED's Secret to Great Public Speaking. This is worth watching. If you want to hear a fantastic voice, a beautifully structured presentation, watch Martin Luther King Jr.'s delivery of I Have a Dream. Fantastic speech, and just listen to how he uses his voice, and how he uses pitch and pace and tone and so forth. Or maybe you want to watch Steve Jobs confidently owning his stage when he was presenting the very first iPhone. An amazing presentation. Whether you like him or his products, doesn't matter. Just watch how he makes this presentation. It is fantastic.